So I just had heartburn like the entire time, and they didn't have Tums, and so like while we were at Quick Trip, we actually had to go and get Tums because I'm an old man.
You're an old man at the ripe age of 1.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I know Terry's age by heart because I'm waiting for Unhappy Hour to kick back up. I'm hoping to have those 2 episodes edited by the time Terry turns 21.
By the time, Jesus.
2 months. If you can't do 2 episodes in 2 months, you're gonna be like me then at that point, because that's what the last 2 months have been for me. I've done like 3 episodes over the last 2.5 months. It's been real slow. I sit down and
edit them now that I have time again.
Yeah.
I didn't do I worked 3 hours today.
So what is it that you're doing now? I mean, it's like the same thing, but
yeah, pretty much. I do IT for a undisclosed company in the Charlotte area. Well, I'm not gonna fucking announce where I work. I don't want people to fucking
because it's the
down
government.
And rape me. Yes, government. I work for the government. Donald Trump himself came to me in a dream. It came in me.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I wanna edit the show less. That's what goal. Starting this episode, significantly less editing.
Because that was the thing with BGM.
However, I'm still talking. Ding ding. However, when you guys say shit like that, I gotta cut it. You know.
But it's so funny.
I know. So it's like it's worth it. But like,
he's never gonna watch this.
Did you turn around and check if he was there?
No, I turn around and check the chat. I know it's Tim because the color hasn't changed.
Well, I know, but like maybe like, fuck. I suppose you can just kind of go.
Yeah, I just kind of glanced over my shoulders to see what Tim said. Because now I care about the chat. I can interact with the chat now. I can get up.
We're not doing that
up,
though. That's just not.
I can walk up to the screen and be like, "You dumb motherfucker."
Listen.
You turn around, you're stupid, but at your own screen, so it's like your back is turned to them. Fucking dummy.
I really want to link my computer to I need to find a way to run like a really long HDMI cable or see if there's some way I can link my desktop to that screen so I can just start pulling shit up and being like, this is why you're wrong in the middle of arguments.
Like charts and graphs and things. Oh, you could
start pulling up fucking PowerPoints.
You could start doing, okay, hold on. I'm gonna show something else I have. Okay, hold on.
He's gonna whip his dick out.
No, hold on.
It's finally happening.
I've had that for a while. So.
Oh shit!
You could come back here. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, you'd be like, listen, look here, you bitch. I've got issues with the thing you're saying.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get another microphone to plug into my input too.
Listen to me.
Why is it so echoey? God, is that you?
So. I spent a lot of money over the last month. Here, hold on.
Same.
What does he do?
I'm tripping.
What's the deal with it?
Bong, dong, 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 bong, 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 bong. So yeah, I do this thing every once in a while. It's normally never this bad, but I just spent a lot of money. I got this microphone. It's okay, and it was $60, I think it was.
That's not too bad.
I bought a mixer. That was like $200, and I bought the Nintendo Switch, which was like $300. Oh, also,
did you buy it because of the Animal Crossing release?
Yeah. Also, Chris, you'll be disappointed, but I also bought this.
And this is why you're wrong.
Listen, look at my crafts. So it's pretty much the greatest thing I've ever done, though.
Now I have to do that. I like that. And I like that I have more room behind me that I can do something like that.
Right, yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do that.
That's good, yeah.
Because I think this can only make this podcast slightly better.
I hope so. If we're both just back in the background screaming out of the microphone. Oh.
Dude. The debate corner.
I'm just sitting there like...
to me. Maya sitting there quietly trying not to cry while me and Terry are on the other side of the room screaming at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna hear my neighbors downstairs with a broom going, shut the fuck up!
Oh, yeah. So, this show, it's gonna be just, like, fucking top-notch from now on. Because everyone's on
this is where we're gonna get the 35th subscriber.
I just realized, I'm gonna have to, like, when I go up to college, I'm gonna have to do podcasts and have my roommate either join me or be very quiet or leave the room.
Excuse me, could you just fuck off for the next 2 hours?
Room?
Yeah.
The whole thing is just one big room.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't go to real college. I'd be very uncomfortable because I like to get naked a lot.
Well,
and
yeah,
I don't
like,
want to be naked with another person.
Well, no, that's an actual legitimate thing. You're like, listen, I got some shit to take care of, like, and you're supposed to like just.
I gotta jerk off.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do you go to jerk off?
Exactly.
That's what I've been trying to figure out for the last month or two.
Cause like, you got shit to do.
Also, like simple things like just changing your clothes.
Where do you shit? Is there a
There's a
toilet in the
public.
shower?
No, there's a public bathroom.
No.
Yeah.
That
No.
is horrible.
You don't have a
that
private
is-
bathroom. There's a public.
Why
bathroom.
would you ever want to go to college?
Yeah, no, you need to drop out right now. This is not.
Yeah, I would not.
You're stressing me out, and I'm not having enough to
There
experience
are
it.
also public showers,
Gro-
so you don't get a private shower.
Fuck that. You're gonna get trench foot.
No, that's why they sell
gonna
sandals
drop
for you
dead.
to wear in the
I
shower.
don't want
No.
to wear sandals when I shower. I won't be full naked.
I can't believe you guys didn't know about this.
No, I didn't go to real
like,
college. I went to tech school.
My other friend, he had a room when he was in college. When he was in the dorms before he moved to his apartment, he had a room.
I don't like this.
They had like a small little like central area that wasn't much, but then they would
If
go
it-
off to their rooms.
Yeah, if it makes
I
you
don't like
feel
this.
better, you have 2 people in one room, and each room is 13 by 11 feet.
How are you? Why are you? You seem pretty okay with this.
Yeah, you seem
The
way too okay with
Only
this.
reason I'm okay with it is because my best friend is rooming with me. That's it.
Yeah, but, like-
that is the only reason. But I'm still not very okay with it because I want
I would not
my
be
own
okay
bathroom.
jacking off next to my best friend.
I'm not going to, and that's the worst
But
part.
you're gonna
I don't know
want
what to
to.
do.
That's how people develop kinks.
This is not gonna. Oh, yes, sure, but that's not. That's a bad situation.
We are putting up
I
a
don't like
curtain in
this.
ours.
Oh, I would go
Yeah.
to Lowe's and buy
That's just how.
drywall.
No, that's just how we'll like change, so we don't like change.
It
Have
would
to see each
be-
other when
It
we're
would
changing.
be the iron curtain down
But
the
I
middle.
like I refuse to do any of that business with her in the room. Like that's just weird. I don't want to.
Well,
Like I said,
yes, that's exactly the concern. Yeah.
That's how you develop kinks. I'm telling
So
you.
I think my plan is hopefully she'll have classes when I don't, and then
Yeah, but like there's evenings.
when. What do you mean? What?
You guys also have to like be together in the evenings.
Yeah, but if she's not there, if she has a class like in the middle of the day and I don't have a class, that's my only window of opportunity. I don't have any other time.
Just quickly.
That's it. Yeah.
That's really horrible.
That's terrible.
And I have to do it for only 1 year. Hopefully.
A
Holy
year?
shit.
I couldn't do
Holy
it for
shit.
a year.
Hopefully
that
only
for
1
a
year.
week.
Because the only
Yeah,
reason
I
I'm
could
saying
go.
hopefully 1 year is because we plan on getting an apartment together afterwards to save on money.
You better not get a studio.
I pray to God that we don't have to like get a 2-bed apartment so that we still like room together for the next 4 fucking years.
Sounds like a nightmare situation.
Speaking of this college in particular, the one that I'm going to, it's one of the best engineering schools. It's not one of, it's the best engineering school in Maine. And
It's the only
my
one.
Also,
cousin,
the
my,
only engineering school.
that's true. My second cousin went to there, and he now works for the school. He didn't graduate, and he has 1 class left to take. And because he's employed there, he can take it for free. But he's not taking the class, and now everybody in the family is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? It's free. It's 1 class. Fuck you." They're very upset that he's not graduating.
Does he have a reason?
I don't know. I haven't heard his side of the story. I've only heard my
Oh,
family side.
okay.
Yeah. By the way, had a fucking family reunion this weekend, and it was
I'm really ashamed, or not ashamed. Bummed. What? That's not. That's not.
Very
you're
ashamed.
ashamed of me.
I'm
Very
bummed
ashamed
out
of
that
you
you don't
constantly.
have an accent right now.
It wasn't that bad because I hung out with my uncle from Utah
Hank Hill.
the entire time. Hank Hill. He sounds a lot like Hank Hill. I'm hanging out with him again tomorrow, and then he leaves on Wednesday.
I'm glad I've never had to do like a family reunion thing.
I am too. I don't like family. I don't like people.
It's not
There's 3
a fun time.
people in the world that I enjoy spending time with, and they're all on this call.
You enjoy spending
Fuck
time with
you,
yourself?
kid. Fuck you.
Go eat a dick.
Having to work.
Yeah, what a bitch. Isn't he? He's already like a multimillionaire. Like,
Oh yeah.
like
Kid's
enough of
got
this
billions
working
of
shit.
dollars. I'm very mad he didn't come to see me when I was in Dallas.
Yeah, what was the whole thing about not being able to get past security? Like you need a ticket? I don't think that's a. I don't know.
No, you can get little passes to go behind the curtain.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It's like as long as you go through security, you're not gonna. I mean, they check your thing when you're getting on the flight. So
yeah, as long as you because I've done it before.
Yeah,
for like old people and shit. But you can go behind security. It's like alas.
Yeah. So
bastard.
I think he just didn't wanna. I think because Kit's not here, we should start spreading rumors about him.
Yeah, let's start shitting on Kit. Let's have a Kit shit. Sorry, Kit, I love you. Even though Dallas tried to kill me for 4 hours I was there.
Yeah, so what was the deal with that? Like, it was just...
The worst fucking tornado weather I've ever seen.
There wasn't, like, actually tornadoes, though, were there?
I think.
There was. Oh.
There's people died in that storm.
Oh, my God.
The fucking crane fell on an apartment complex. Killed, like, 2 people.
It's terrifying.
Grounded all the flights out of Dallas for like 4 hours. I'd sit there with a bunch of very, very angry Blues fans.
That's why I think Maine is just the best place to live.
No.
I disagree.
You don't have hurricanes, alright? You don't have fucking negative 60-degree weather, alright?
We don't
The worst you have to
time,
deal with
okay?
is blizzards. That's it.
Yeah, blizzards are still pretty fucking bad.
They're not that bad.
Not bad.
Pretty fucking bad.
All you have to
It's
do
just
is
a bunch of-
shovel, that's it.
Yeah, shovel,
it's a lot
snowblower,
of work.
whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
Or you could do what a lot of families do, which is really bad, where you don't shovel it at all and let it melt, and then it freezes, and then your driveway or walkway is just a fucking nightmare.
I have a list of things that when I take over the government, I'm gonna do to like punish people.
You're gonna make it.
If you don't shovel, you're getting hanged.
Bringing back hangings, and it's only for people that don't shovel their driveways.
I have now 5. Do you want to hear my 5 things?
Go on.
People need to be 30 to get married. It's just a rule. It doesn't matter how long you've been dating or not dating. If you're under 30, it's illegal to get married.
No, a lot of people I went to high school with
Number
already
2.
married.
If people don't learn how to chew with their mouths closed by the age of 5, their parents are fined $500. If they don't learn by adulthood, they are shot and their parents are fined another $500.
At least the parents don't die in this.
Yeah, they need to live with their suffering and their pain and also pay another $500.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Fuck
people who
you,
dip their
in addition.
pizza in ranch are to be hanged. Unfortunately, that means I lose my 2 real life friends, but you know what? We're gonna make a pure gene pool, you know?
Pure geneful?
Gene.
Terry's perfect Aryan race.
It's really simple. Don't chew with your mouth closed and get rid of ranch. It's simple.
Don't chew with your mouth closed.
Yeah. Number 4, slow walkers are to be executed. It doesn't
I
matter
agree
how.
with this one.
Yes, I know you would. You'll be my vice president.
I'm fully behind this. I will
Vote
be
for
a part
me,
of
and
the
we will
execution.
execute everyone who walks slower than I don't know. We'll figure out the mile per hourage, but they're gonna be gone. That's for sure.
All these
Number
short legs
5,
better be
those
ready
who
to
don't
book it.
shovel shall be hanged. And I'll probably come up with more.
Oh, definitely. I agree. And I think that when Terry takes over the government and I become his vice president, I'm going to put those little mobile walkways that are in all the airports fucking everywhere. That's all I want. I want fucking sidewalks. I want those mobile walkways. Because they just shoot you
Oh,
out
you can
through
do it
the
really
world.
fast, yeah.
Yeah.
You just
I've
kind of
always wanted to just
do
haul
like a surfer
ass
thing.
down
Oh, I
one
can
of
show. Hold
those.
on, I'll do a surfer thing. You go like this.
Yeah. These things are so cool. They're so much fun. They're great for people that want to go someplace fast, but they're also great for lazy people that don't want to walk.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
It's the best of both worlds.
You're selling me on this. I like it. Because
Yeah,
right now,
like I
all
was
I
thinking
have
about that,
is
'cause there's a lot
negative
of them
things
in
where people
airports,
die.
especially
but
St.
then
Louis
eventually-
Airport,
one of us is going to have to stop talking at some point.
I know. That's why I stopped talking.
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. So fuck it. Hard cut. Moving on. So we already kind of touched on a couple things. I'm gonna guess that Chris, you have more shit that went on the last month, all things considered. So let's start with Myia. So first off, you graduated high school.
I graduated high school.
I kind of want to talk about this because we chatted it in the chat about it briefly. What the fuck is with all your weird rich kid bullshit you have?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have, and I guess this isn't common in other classes because I went to my cousin's graduation 2 days before mine, and I noticed, oh, they don't have stoles either. And it's just like a banner thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just like a scarf basically that you wear on your
sash of
gown.
sorts.
Ours had our
I think I had that.
high school initials on it. So WHS and then the year of graduation. My brother had the same exact thing. My parents didn't know what they were talking. What? My parents didn't have that either. So
I think I had that. I don't think I had anything embroidered on it, but it was like a golden thing. It was like
I got an additional one.
Please stop.
I
don't mean to do it. I need to replace the XLR cable. I think it's bad. Every time I touch it, it freaks the fuck out, and I keep accidentally touching it.
So I got an additional one. That was just for my like academics, but everybody got a blank one that had WHS and then a 19 on it. So I think I don't know. I guess it's weird that our class or our school rather, like everybody gets it.
Yeah, but then there was also like some big ass trip you guys did, right?
Yeah, we had
Yeah, doggy dog. What the fuck?
We had a thing called Project Grad, which is every high school has it.
Not every high school.
No,
that's not true.
I know for a fact every high school in Maine has it because it started in Maine, and it's like I think it's mandatory for every single high school in Maine, where the graduating in Maine. The graduating class of the year it's completely optional, but the school has to host it, where the graduating class is like kept together in a supervised area where they can't access drugs or alcohol. And it's just to prevent kids from to prevent kids from like making dumb mistakes, because it started because a woman lost her child in a like her child wasn't drinking, but there was another graduate that was drinking and driving and killed her child. So she was like,
"What's to stop them from getting shit faced when they get out of the child prison?"
Because we get, dude. I got home at 6 a.m. I would never want to fucking drink after that. 6
You don't know the joys of alcohol.
I don't, and I don't really want to. But yeah, so our class raised a shit ton of money. I do. Our class raised a shit ton of money in fundraising, where we got to go on a 4-level yacht.
What the fuck?
Yeah, see, and you're like, oh, we're not even rich kids.
We only
went on a 4-level yacht. There's much bigger ones.
No, that was out, like, holy shit. But that was, like, purely fundraising. Like, our school didn't put any money into that. It was just fundraising. Because my brother's Project Grad, he got locked up into a fucking rec center until 5 a.m, and he was pissed.
But also, like, wait, what if you don't want to do that? Like, what if you just...
You don't have to.
So you could just go drinking?
Yeah.
So what's the point?
No, they try and make it... They try and make it really, really fun.
All these kids at gunpoint and put them on a 4-story yacht and keep the alcohol on a dinghy out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
I think every single Project Grad has a hypnotist at it, which is what I'm sending you guys videos of.
What the fuck?
Which is super weird, though.
That was? I was so confused. Why everyone was laying on the ground?
We left the dock
at
12. And then we were going around the bay for a little bit, and then we came back at 1:30 to pick up the hypnotist, and everybody was like, what kind of fucking sketchy hypnotist goes on a yacht full of high school graduates at fucking 1:30 in the morning and just does a hypnotist show until 3?
You wonder why people don't believe in Maine. That's true. Why.
Yeah, that's like
I didn't know what the fuck was going on when you were sending me all that stuff, and I was out of the fucking state and too busy to ask.
My favorite part of it was there were like about even guys and girls being hypnotized, and he had the guys stand up and like go stand in a line, and they were like, "You're now 9 months pregnant." And so they were walking around and they genuinely believed it, and that was the freakiest part. It's like, because you could see it in their faces, like they were like, "Oh no." They were like, I don't know what to do. And at one point the hypnotist asked, "Do you know who the father is?" And then, or do you know who the other parent is? And then this guy named Stu said, "I think it's Connor." And Connor was another guy that was there. And then he went up to Connor and he was like, Connor, do you know who the father is? And first, like, I don't think they could hear each other, but Connor was also like, "That guy." And he pointed to Stu, and we were like, what the fuck? Anyways, he had them go into labor, and
what the fuck?
Our friend Sam screamed the, like, loudest I've ever heard, like, and most pain-filled scream I've ever heard anybody scream. It was like, and
you brought in a criminal and a pervert. That's what you guys did. I want to watch all these kids give birth.
and then here's the thing. They were like, all right, so parents, here's your babies. Your babies are alive. They're happy. Blah, blah, blah. And here's the freaky part. And it says a lot about
none of this is the freaky part. This is the freaky part.
It says a lot about our class as a whole. And he was like, here in Massachusetts, we're accepting of people who want to bottle feed or breastfeed their babies. I don't know how it is up in Maine. So,
oh no.
Could I get a sound? Could you make some noise if you want them to bottle feed their babies? And there was not a fucking peep in the entire yacht. Everybody went silent. And then when he's like, all right, if you think breastfeeding is the better alternative up in Maine, please make a noise. And everybody was hooting and hollering. And then he was like, all right, you got to breastfeed your babies. And then he went up to Stu and he was like, Stu, you have twins, so you have to figure that out. So Stu lifted up his shirt and bit down on it, and he got like his abs were showing, and it was weird, and he was like holding two fictional babies, and we were all like, "What the fuck is happening?" It was so weird.
That sounds like a crime. That sounds like a crime.
Yeah, that sounds pretty illegal.
Who is this dude? Okay, because
I don't know what his name is.
Because again, what you said, you guys were riding around for a little while, and you came back to get him. So, like, what was he doing where he couldn't just get on earlier and just, like, fuck around for a bit?
Yeah, who is this guy? Boy?
I don't like this man, whoever he was.
Don't like him. Yeah, there was another part where this is the part where I was like, okay, all right, this is fucking weird. This was before the baby part.
Oh, yeah, this is weird.
This is before the baby part. He had them start twerking.
I would have yeeted this man off of the boat.
That is so insanely creepy.
Yeah.
What is your life? You're like, are you trying to be like Kit? Is this what you're trying to do?
Yeah, you're trying to emulate Kit's life.
What else happened? Oh, there was one part where he was like... I'm not
going to be able to possibly top this. We should not have started with Myia.
I just figured there'd be less because it was like just high school graduation. No, this is insane.
This is just the Sunday night, Monday morning thing. Like,
I want whatever drugs y'all are on.
What else happened? Just a brief recap. The funniest things.
Fuck on this yacht.
No,
somebody had to have fucked.
He did say that. Oh, well, probably somebody fucked. He did say that they went to a movie, and they were watching 3 movies, and the first movie was a really romantic movie, and he was like asking everybody, so what are you seeing? Like, what do you think of the movie so far? And then one girl was like, oh, it's so cute. They just kissed and they're together now. And then he went to a guy, and he was like, what's going on in the movie? Like, what do you think of it? And the guy said, it's sexy. And we were like, oh, God.
No.
What is he seeing right now?
Also, why did you say that? Like, oh my God, I hate this.
He was hypnotized. He didn't know.
I hate this so much.
What else happened? Oh, this is another really, really weird one. They were on a farm, and they were milking cows, so they were all doing this. And then he was like, wait a second. You're the cow, and you're getting milked. And then everybody was like, moo, and like mooing really sensually. And it was like, oh God, what the fuck is happening? Oh.
That is like the worst thing I've ever heard. Horrendous.
Oh, there was another part where he was like,
keeps going.
Oh, so going back to
How long was this man on the boat?
An hour and a half.
Motherfuck, all this happened in an hour and a half.
Yes. And so another part happened.
I haven't had this much excitement in 21 years.
Remember when I was talking about how the guy was like, it's sexy about the romantic movie? At the end of it, he was like, at the end of that section of the movie part, he was like, so this beautiful scene is happening. It's very sensual and blah, 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 blah. And then you realize it's your parents. And then he was like getting people's reactions. And then he was like, Stu, what's your reaction? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. And then he goes to this...
Is she dying
for Myia dying for you too? Okay, good. Beep boop boop. The hypnotist is taking Myia.
Yeah, he's going, woo.
You're on a podcast. Mya's also frozen on the big screen.
Well, yeah, because she's frozen, yeah.
Well, sometimes it freezes up on mine and it just stays there, but it doesn't freeze for you. And then I'm just stuck with Myia going...
Yeah. Well, no, she's just black now. Oh, look, she's just gone. Look. Look.
So anyway,
Look at the
welcome back
screen.
to the-
Look at the screen.
I see the screen.
Turn around and look, so I feel better about it. Ah! Thank you. So that man definitely fucked one of those high schoolers, right?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. He hypnotized one of those girls. Like, okay, if you're, that's rape, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you hypnotize somebody.
Christopher. Just do this for the whole podcast. Yeah, no, like and that's one of those things too, where it's like it's kind of like the scene and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm
Fuck
sorry,
me.
it's hissing and it's making me mad. I'm sorry, it's better now.
It's like the scene in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Dennis is like, they're not going to say no because of the implication.
You're on a yacht, you have a hypnotist, that man fucked a high schooler.
You're going to say yes because of the implication. So it's fucked up. He's a pervert, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, she's back.
Okay, so the people were actually the parents. He was getting people's reactions, and he was like, Stu, what are you saying? Stu then says, I don't want to talk about it. That was funny. We all chuckle. And then he gets to the end of the line, and he was like, Danielle, what's happening? What's going on right now? She leans in and whispers, or not whispers, she just leans in and says, they're divorced. And they're all like,
no!
and I think that was the funniest part of the entire thing, because he didn't expect it, and he was like, he literally said, well, they're not tonight.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yikes.
Oh,
What the absolute fuck?
this man is a terrorist.
That was the hypnotist.
There's more? Would y'all bring on a clown next?
No, we did have a airbrush tattoo artist. So she had a stencil and she would airbrush paint onto you. And I had like a half sleeve on my forearm just
You should
full
got
of
the
fake
GoBicker
tattoos.
logo.
I should have, but they didn't have it. They were just preset ones.
Well, that was a shitty tattoo artist then.
Yeah.
My friend got a fucking Playboy bunny on the top of her hip. Like a...
You're all children.
That girl
Hey,
got
What
nothing
is
more.
going
We're
on?
18, right?
You're children. You just got
We.
done with high school. You're
This
children.
is wee shit.
There was the bottom floor was a casino where they actually had casino employees working. So they had like 3 blackjack people. They
Wait,
had
were y'all actually gambling?
yeah, they gave us fake money.
Oh,
Fake money?
I was about to
Yeah,
say.
fake money. No, not real money. Yeah, no, but they gave us actual chips and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, there were 3 there were 3 blackjack tables. There was 1 craps table, 2 poker tables, and then 1 other one that I can't remember what it is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, it was roulette.
So weird. Did anything normal happen?
I wish anything I did in high school was...
Oh, they had a caricature artist. Oh, and it was so fucking funny because 2 of my friends, Connor and Joel, went and got a thing done, and
a thing.
they didn't know what he was doing because he just does random shit unless you specifically ask for it, and they were just like, draw whatever. And they drew a picture. He drew a picture of Joel, who is a 6'3" man, very big, and Connor,
Big
who's
ol'
like
chonker.
5'6" or something. He's not a very tall guy, but he had a picture of
boy.
Joel in a diaper wearing a baby hat thing and sucking on a pacifier,
Another
and
pervert,
Connor
got
was
it.
carrying him, and then he had Joel pee himself in the diaper, and the character artist.
Where did your school find all these people?
he was wearing an orange shirt that
These
kind of looked like a
are
jumpsuit
all
from prison. So,
sex criminals.
and
Yes,
so
these are all ex-cons. It's like they're
And-
rolled up at the gate that opens at the prison and lets the prisoners out, and there's 3 dudes walking out, and your principal
Pretty
rolled
much.
up like, yes, you all do.
you. And
You
so
3.
Joel was like, dude, this is fantastic. Thank you. Because he was like, fuck yes, this is so funny. And he was like, listen, sometimes when it's, 1 a.m. and you're on a 4-level yacht and you're just huffing markers for the last 3 hours, your mind goes to weird places, dude. And Joel was like, yeah, it does. It was great.
I'm completely
I don't know
utterly
what the
disturbed.
fuck you experienced.
There were
but I'm
also
not
2
okay with it.
DJs, and they were both really weird.
Of course they were. Well, I would. No, yeah,
I
that's
would not
implied.
expect anybody normal to be aboard this yacht.
No,
Yeah.
not a single person.
If you were like, and then there was Jim who fucking grew plants or whatever.
That would
He
be
was
weird
normal.
though too. 'cause it'd be
Oh,
like,
and there
why
was
is she there?
karaoke, and there were
Nice.
2 guys that just cannot sing for shit.
That's the point of karaoke, though. You don't want to hear the girl with the golden voice. You want to hear drunk Lenny
That's true.
singing Freebird.
That's true. Yeah.
So that was Project Grad. That was very fun.
I don't like that at all.
I hate it, in fact.
I hate it. Thanks.
I had
hate
a
it.
blast.
Like, I suppose
I'm
that's
sure
good,
you did. Whatever fucking psychotropics they had y'all on.
Oh, they really just kept us in the bus for the entire time and gave
they
us all
just spritzed you all with some
hallucinogens.
shit.
Y'all were all dropping acid in the bus, traveling around downtown Maine.
So, speaking of which, my sister had her grad party because she also just graduated. She had it like last week or the week before, or by the time this comes out, a month and a half ago. And I was in my grandma's living room, and my great grandma was there, and she was kind of just like, "Oh, when did you get so handsome? Oh, you're so tall," grandma bullshit,
Yeah.
And then she was like, I used to work at this convention center that's like that's downtown, and she's like, one time, I was having a can of Coke, and I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and I finished it, and then all of a sudden I was just all loopy, and I ended up in the parking lot, and like I didn't know how I got there, and all this other shit, and it's like, and she went to the hospital, and it turns out somebody had dropped LSD in her drink.
What?
And she's like, "Oh yeah, it was crazy." And then my grandma came in, her daughter, and she's like, "Oh, Linda, you remember when I did LSD by accident?" And my grandma's like, Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
assuming
Yeah,
she's
Ma.
like, she's heard it a few times. She's like, "Oh, you remember, right?"
You remember that time I
Yeah.
dropped acid in a Coke can in a parking lot?
But grandmas, man, what?
Grandmas are fucking wild, dude.
fucking wild.
I was about to say wet and wild, but I don't think I want to.
Don't want to think about wet grandmas.
There's a scene in Patch Adams where this really old lady talks about how she wants to swim in spaghetti noodles, and then they do. Patch Adams and his assistants, they get this old lady a big pool of noodles, and they let her kind of swim in them because she likes how the spaghetti feels.
Thanks, I hate it.
She's like, "I want to swim in noodles. I love noodles," and then she does. She likes, just like it's like in them. And
swim in noodles.
she says it like that, yeah. So that's all I have written down. All I have written down that I remembered to write down for you, Myia. Do you have anything else anything of note to bring up?
Yes.
Yes. Indeed.
Every single day since Friday, every day, I have been in a car for at least. I say since Friday. I meant since last Friday. No, thank you. Since last
fuck
Friday.
off.
Except for last Saturday and last Tuesday, I have been in a car for no less than 2 hours a day, and I fucking hate it. And I don't know how you could do it in the past, Chris. Or you might still have to do it. I don't know.
I still do it. I
That's
drove
fucking
about
ridiculous.
an hour
hate
out
it.
and back.
All right, I think the difference is I've been a passenger every single ride, and I fucking hate that because I get so car sick.
Oh, really?
I just sleep.
Oh, it's really bad.
I get car sick, but it's only if I like read anything, which makes
Like,
car signs and
that's the
like,
thing.
things
My
difficult.
mom was trying to talk to me yesterday because we were coming back up from Massachusetts. I didn't hear the last part of what he said. What did he say?
So that makes reading road signs difficult.
Terry's driving down the road and he just looks over and sees the speed limit sign. He's like,
It's like, yeah, like merge left. I'm like, oh god. Main Street. Oh,
oh shit.
But yeah, so my mom was trying to have a conversation with me yesterday when we were coming back up from Massachusetts, and she was like, "Hey, can you look at this thing on my phone?" And I was like, "Dude, I can't. Dude, I cannot." I had been looking like I was talking to her for 2 minutes, and I was already like, "Ooh, this isn't getting good. This isn't
Jesus
good." I was talking
Christ.
to her for 2 minutes, not looking outside, like not looking out the window. And she was like, "All right, can you look at my phone?" And I was like, "If you put that phone in my fucking face, I will throw up on you." Because like,
the fuck?
I have to be staring out the window the entire time. That's the only way I don't feel nauseous.
that's weird because normally if I ever feel nauseous when I'm not just reading anything, it's because I've been looking out the window.
I don't think I've ever gotten car sick.
Well, fucking
God,
brag
it's
about
awful.
it, you bitch.
Y'all are
It's so
badly broken human beings.
I know.
That's why I don't even want to know. I don't even want to try going on an airplane because I'm worried that's going to be even worse.
I know for me, planes are fine. Like,
Planes
Okay.
are fine.
I haven't had an issue. I've only gone it like twice, but
And then the other thing was Wednesday I went on a camping trip, and that was another fucking 2-hour drive. up north to Roxbury, Maine.
Roxbury.
Don't think you guys have ever heard of it, because you haven't heard of
Oh,
any
yeah, I know Roxbury.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, north of Mexico. It is true. It is north of Mexico.
Yeah, it's
Definitely. I am also north of Mexico, so
too.
we're practically fucking neighbors.
So, drove up there, went on a little camping trip. It was just one night, so it was fine. We had
little fucking camping trip.
little itsy bitsy. We
Itsy bitsy beat the ball.
went canoeing, which was my first time ever going canoeing, and I hate talking about this because it makes me freak out again, but I had to live it. So we went canoeing. I fucking lathered up with sunscreen because I burn so easily. If you can't tell, my face is burned right now because I didn't put enough on my face. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look how red that is.
No, yeah.
That's not lighting. So, lathered up. My friend, being the idiot that she is, decided
Wow.
no sunscreen.
What a stupid bitch.
I'm gonna use suntan lotion instead. Long story short,
no.
that ended out really well because we were canoeing. I was gonna say
We were out
kayaking.
there
We
canoeing.
were canoeing for a good 2 to 3 hours. So it was a good chunk of time we were out in the sun. Needless to say, she burned like a fucking egg.
Did she
Dude,
look
it was
like
bad.
that little
eggs
old
burn?
lady who they sell chocolates to in SpongeBob?
Chocolate.
Yeah, pretty much. No, dude, she was so red, and the best part was we didn't have aloe at the camp, so she had to suffer through it. That wasn't the worst part. The worst part for me is we went canoeing. We went into this so it was a big pond. It's not a lake, but it was a really big pond, and it flowed, like the water flows from the mountains, and so from the mountains there are these little like streams that are wide enough and deep enough that you can canoe through. So we did, and we kept canoeing, and it was great until we got to one bit where, the trees were real close, so we couldn't touch the edges at all. So we were just in the water.
They were almost in the water, and that would have been real bad.
No, oh no, oh just you wait, buddy, oh just you wait. So the branches were over the water. I hate that already. I hate it.
Okay, all right.
And I see it. I see it in the water. And I go, oh no! And my friends are like, what? And I'm like, I can't, can we just like go? Because I can't look down, dude. I can't. And they were like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, dude, please just keep going. And then Ben was like, oh my fucking god. Is it seriously the fucking logs underwater? Are you serious? And I was like, yeah, dude, it is. Please, just keep going. And he was like, you're fucking kidding me right now. All right, whatever. So we kept going, and I was like, oh, because I hate it. I fucking hate logs
What is
underwater.
your problem with trees
I
and
don't know.
water?
I just hate it. It's weird.
You don't belong there.
But it gets worse. We kept going. There were more logs underwater. I just had to deal with it at that point. I was like, what the fuck ever, dude? I never want to go here ever again. Like, to this specific stream. I never want to. And then it gets worse.
What the fuck?
There was an overpass of trees where we had to literally, duck down in our canoes, lift up the branches, move them behind us, pull ourselves on the trees. And there were spider webs.
Spiders.
And I was like, okay, I'm not having fun anymore. This is where it's not fun. I get very paranoid. And I'm like, anytime I feel anything on me, I'm like, spider. And then the worst thing happens. I would like you guys to Google this.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
And you do it at home too. Pull over if
You
you're
do it at
driving.
home.
This is why I need the fucking TV to work, so I can just be like, boop, 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 viewers at home.
I hate spiders in general. I hate the teeny tiny ones. I hate all spiders. They suck. I look down, and next to Samantha, who's sitting in the middle of the
Who
canoe.
the fuck is Samantha?
Sammy.
Oh.
I just called her Samantha for no reason.
Okay.
Next to her lies a dock spider,
Okay.
which is...
Gotta be careful.
Do you guys know what wolf spiders are? I assume you do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit smaller than those.
Oof, that's a...
Oh, fuck my asshole.
That was in our canoe. And
my spirit would have left my body.
here's the thing.
Ooh, some people have them on their hands.
Oh, I should probably mention this beforehand. So, when we got to the underwater logs, I was yelling a lot. When we got to the branches over the water, I was screaming. And Ben every single time was like, fucking knock it out. Stop screaming. Stop panicking. Fuck you. Stop panicking. And I was like, and at one point I was literally screaming at the top of my lungs, fuck you. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Fuck you. I can freak out if I fucking want to. And I was so mad at him. I've never been that mad at him.
I would have fucking died in that moment that I saw that spider in the canoe. I would have leapt out into the water and swam back to camp.
But this is before I saw the spider.
Oh my god.
And I screamed the loudest I have ever screamed on in my entire life when I saw the spider. When I saw the spider, and then Ben was like, fucking stop panicking, what? And then Sammy was like, what is it? And I was like, quick, get to fucking shore right now. I'm not gonna fucking say what it is. Fuck you, get to shore. And he was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, fuck you. And then I was like, right, you wanna fucking know what it is? And I pointed at it, and Sammy started screaming, and I'm screaming, Sammy's screaming, Ben is telling us, shut the fuck up! Don't panic! Don't fucking flip the kayak! Or flip the canoe, because if we flip the canoe, we're fucked! So he, thank God.
The spider can swim, too.
Y'all they can. Yeah, dock spiders can swim. They can swim real fast.
Fuck my ass!
Yeah, no. They can swim very fast. And so...
I hate it. I hate everything about it.
There was a small purchase, small bit of land, tiny ass bit of land. We get to the land. I fucking leap out of the canoe. I don't care if it flips over. We're by the tiniest bit of land. Keep in mind, this is land only big enough that Sammy, Ben, and I could barely stand on.
That's really
so it's
funny.
very small. So we freak out. Connor gets out of his canoe, and he's like, okay. Picks up a branch, gets the spider, fucking hurtles the spider into the woods. Because he doesn't want to kill it.
It's high five. Yep, there you go. I was assuming you were going to do the wrong way.
No, I got you.
Okay.
So, that was a fucking nightmare. And, it gets worse from there. It doesn't get worse. That was the worst of it. But,
Fuck.
so...
Myia.
I'm like freaking out. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I want to go back home. I want to go back home right now. I don't want to be here anymore. And we get ready to go back in the canoe.
There's more spiders.
And the little bit of land is under a big old branch. And Sammy's in the canoe at this point. I'm not in the canoe at this point because I didn't want to be in there. Sammy's in the canoe at this point. And from the branch, I see a spider descending, about to land on her head. And I, like the fucking savior that I am, take my oar and I go, whoop! And I fucking flick it into the water. And then she's like, what the fuck did you just do? And I was like, I just saved your fucking ass. That's what I just did. Fuck you. I saved you from a spider. She was like, thank you. And then it happened 2 more fucking times. Not the spiders descending, but 2 more times I picked up a spider with my oar and flicked it in the water from our canoe.
I don't ever want to go to Maine.
Yeah, why are you always like, well, Maine's so great and you have all this bullshit?
You're like 5 foot tall swimming spider. Maine is great. Fuck you.
It's my favorite place in the world.
There was one spider that we kept in the canoe because
he's a friend.
That's the thing. It didn't bother us. So Sammy saw it and she was like, and I was like, what is it? Is it a spider? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I can't get it if it's a spider because that's in an area that I can't reach because I couldn't see the spider at all. So I was like, gonna ignore it. It doesn't exist. And she was like, okay. And so Ben was like, what's going on, guys? And I was like, there's another spider in here, but we're gonna ignore it for now because it was a teensy tiny one. It was tiny.
That's even worse, I think.
I'll deal with tiny spiders. Big spiders scare me.
Apparently it had real long legs, and I don't like that. It wasn't a daddy long leg though. I think it was a jumping spider because we have those here.
Jumping long leg.
Anyways, we decided to name him Lionel because everything's better if you name it. And we named the one that we made the joke that the canoe was an apartment complex and Lionel was paying his rent. His rent was not letting me see him. That was his rent. As long as he did that, he didn't have to die. And then we evicted Henry. Henry was the dock spider. Henry was an asshole, and he didn't pay his rent.
I don't care how big or small it is. I fucking do not like spiders. I don't do spiders. And I would have yeeted myself out of that fucking canoe and swam back. I had to deal
with 2 of my phobias. Arachnophobia and my phobia of logs underwater. I wanted to die. I still want to die.
Well, interesting.
What a fucking
See,
wild ride.
This is why you don't go outside unless you go to a park or something. That's the thing. Like yesterday, I was at this park for like 5 hours.
Oh.
And I never didn't see anything.
No giant spiders, no trees, underwater.
Yeah.
Flying with my lips because I'm nervous. I'm thinking about spiders now. I don't want to be. I don't want to think about
spiders.
I don't like spiders.
I don't want to hit you with another thing. Spiders.
Then we were talking about, we were sharing ghost stories because it was night and there was a campfire, and I think I sent you guys pictures of the campfire. It was very, very pretty. Pitch black except for around the fire. And then from across the pond, we see an absurdly bright light. Like, it was insanely bright.
The British are coming.
The British are coming. And it was super high up too. And we were like, what
UFO.
the fuck is it? Because here's the thing, we were like, all right, it's a flare, I guess. But it was white and it was like stagnant and then it stopped. So we thought it was like a floodlight, but that's really, really high up for a floodlight. So we just elected to ignore it because that's the best thing to do in a horror situation. Just ignore it.
Nah, would have fucked with people so bad.
And I think that was it for my camping experience.
Yeah, that's quite the experience.
Both of the experiences you have shared with us so far have topped anything that has ever been on this podcast.
I've had such a long week. This happened in the span of like 3 days, dude.
Jesus. Yeah, I've never had that much. I haven't had that much adventure in 20 years.
Yeah, I can't think of like a time in my entire life that I have had that much wild shit going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then I had a really creepy interaction with somebody because I was wearing a strawberry dress, like just a dress that had strawberries all over it. And I was at the gas station getting stuff. My mom was there too. And this is the gas station that's right by our house. So we go there all the time.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Well, I mean, they
go there all the time.
No, that's the thing. We go there all the time. So we know all the people that work there. We're friendly with them. My mom especially is because she, has to get cigarettes for my dad and shit like that. And so this guy, Tom, knows my mom real well. My mom loves Tom. I always thought Tom was a little bit creepy because whenever I go there... Creepy Tom. Whenever I go there, he always makes weird small talk with me. That's why I stopped going there alone. And so I walk up and put the stuff that my mom told me to grab on the little counter.
Chris, stop.
No.
So I put it on the counter and he just starts singing Strawberry Fields. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, have you ever had a strawberry shortcake? And I was like, yeah, they're really good. And he was like, yeah, you're making me hungry. He literally said that. And my mom looks at me. She goes, and I was like, and he goes, I love strawberries. Anyways. And he just keeps on ringing. And I'm like,
yikes.
So I don't.
I would have just walked out of the establishment.
I was a little uncomfortable. And my mom was like, he's so nice. I don't think he knew he was being really creepy. But my mom was like, yeah, he was being fucking creepy. I was dressed like a strawberry. Yep.
Stop reading the chat.
No.
Slut.
You were dressed like a strawberry, living the dream.
I'm gonna cut you.
Spider strikes. It's very, very hard to read that. My eyes are terrible.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, I have to strain to read the words on that screen.
What is the point of your glasses? You four-eyed fuck.
I got these. I need to upgrade. Fuck my asshole. I need to
upgrade.
When I get my new
I need to update my
insurance.
glasses.
That's the word. When I get my new insurance, I'm gonna go to the eye doctor and get my prescription updated because these are starting to. My prescription's out of date and I'm getting more blind. Yeah, I can't read the words that are on that screen without straining. If I take my glasses off, I wouldn't be able to probably see that screen.
I'm glad that my eyes are perfect.
Much like the rest of you.
Oh, speaking of my eyes, I discovered
You have special eyes.
I discovered my eye color the other day. Like literally like 2 days ago. I thought they were like a really dark brown, but then like I was sitting there washing my hands at my friend's house. I was just there all weekend, Jesus Christ. And just really thinking about it now. And normally like I just have a bit of hand sanitizer, and so I just go and there's no mirror or anything, so I don't look at myself often, thank God. And I didn't need to say that anyway, but I did. So I looked up. I'm like, oh Jesus, and I looked at my eyes and it was like, oh, they're kind of like a light brown, and I had no idea this whole time.
Get real close to the camera.
Okay,
Show
hold
us.
on. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. No idea. So that was a fun discovery, and then I walked back into the living room. I'm like, so I have really light brown eyes. I had no idea. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I've got eyes. Have you guys seen
I
these
have
before?
them.
Have you seen my papers?
Yeah, you seen these things? Holy shit.
You seen these papers here? I can see a lot of shit with these good boys.
So Christopher, you have also had
Hey.
quite the month, but yours is more just like major life events.
Mm.
I've got a couple of stories, not as action-packed as Myia.
I just figure you have more shit that might just last a while.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, most of it's mundane. Like, I moved here. I live in the greater metropolitan Charlotte area now.
What's your address?
It
Yeah,
is
what's your address?
17. I live here in the good Charlotte area. It's a big city. I have an apartment. I'm alone. I made tacos and almost died. That was fun.
So,
My
like, okay,
kitchen floor is very greasy.
what I'm curious about, like, that first night when you got there, what was that like?
Very naked. No, I mean, it was like for the first two. I'm not gonna like. It's kind of boring for the first. Well, kind of, but not really, but kind of.
Thank you.
Because I didn't have internet until last Friday. I just got my router. You can barely see it on top of the speaker on my stereo system. Yeah, I just got internet, so I'm kind of reconnected to the world again. But like the first week I was here was I was like working and hanging out with people I know in Charlotte. And last week I was in St. Louis all week. And then I went home to see my parents from Father's Day. This is really my first like full week of living on my own, where I'm not gonna like have people baby me or whatever. Because like the first week I lived here, yeah. The guy that helped me get the job was up here all week training me, so I just kind of hung out with him and his fiance because his fiance lives in Charlotte, so we just kind of hung out up here together. And then so I really didn't do anything. And like I said, last week I was in St. Louis, and it's like I come back and it's like, fuck, what are you doing?
I know what he's gonna bring up.
Speaking of fiancés and things, you get some puss.
You got a date.
Also getting shit on that. Yeah, so like right after I moved to Charlotte, this girl I went to high school with, who also lives in the Charlotte area, texted me and she's like, hey, what's up? And she got really drunk the other night and told me I'm hot and we're going on a date now.
Fucking knew it. What did I say? I said by the end of the summer. Summer hasn't even fucking started yet, and here you are.
Yeah, crushing puss. Yeah, so
I'm gonna be right about everybody.
At some point, we're supposed to go on a date in the next week or two. So that's gonna be nice.
Oh, you don't have like a set day or anything?
No, we were gonna go on a date this week, but she's got to have an emergency tonsillectomy because her tonsils are fucked up.
You know, as you do.
Of course,
Shit happens. So that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna figure something out. I'm gonna crush some puss. God, now I regret saying that because what if things work out and I have to tell this girl about GoBicker?
Oh
That
no,
would be
she's
great.
gonna see that and she's gonna be like, "Oh, crushing puss, huh?"
But
that
if
what you
she's
say?
mad about that, then she's not meant for you anyway.
It's true.
Yeah, true.
If she doesn't like GoBicker, she's not for you.
That's honestly, I've done a lot of thinking about that lately. That's gonna be my like hard barrier of like, because I'm not gonna quit this. I'm not gonna give up on
goddamn
this.
right
This
My boys
train
again.
don't stop.
Because I gave my heart and soul away from GoBicker once, and this is really, really fucking bad idea.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that, you fucking piece of shit.
Bicker first.
Yeah. GoBicker first,
fucking-
literally everything
My
else
fucking
after.
mental state didn't appreciate it. I was depressed for a year.
Oh, you poor thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's mean.
I know.
You're sad all the time. It equals out. Okay?
It equals out.
When you're always sad, you're never sad.
Exactly. This is-
Yeah, back to crushing puss now.
What if she does? What if
good.
she's... Wait. How did... For some reason, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, you talked about moving to Charlotte on the podcast. So that's how she knew. That's not how that works. So how did she know you were in Charlotte?
Facebook.
Oh.
So you're like, hello world, I'm going to Charlotte. Beep, bop, ba,
No, I
boom.
just like updated my place of living as
okay.
Charlotte.
And she was
For the town
watching.
that I live in, and she messaged me. She's like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you're," because we live in the same town. We live like fucking 5 minutes from each other, and she was like, "Yeah, totally." And she was like, "Oh, hey, you're living in this area now. Let me know if you ever need anything." We just fucking started talking again.
And now it's like, down. Or no, do the
now it's like, let's get dick down.
You gotta fuck.
So now I'm on the wild track of trying to understand how I want to explain GoBicker.
It should be your introduction thing. You should be like, hello, I'm Chris. This is my full-time job.
This is my dirty secret. And you fucking just pull a curtain off your computer and this is... No, play it on your TV. Just have it on.
Movie night I got this great movie called Not Really But Kinda. It's 48 parts long.
Okay, actually, there are some... Wait, like, yesterday I showed my friend the Longest Wheeze highlight clip. You could show shit like that.
I showed that to my teacher today.
Really?
My orchestra teacher, yeah.
It's great.
What teacher? You're not in school anymore.
My ex-orchestra teacher.
It's just Jim now.
No, it's Hannah.
It's Hannah.
It's so weird calling her by her first name because I added her as a friend on Facebook. Now that we're allowed to. It's like,
You're one of those kids. Ugh, God.
She's the only one I friend requested. That's it. And that's because I knew her for 7 years.
I didn't know people our age use Facebook, though.
I don't. A lot. I don't. If I want some way to keep in touch with somebody, I'll use Facebook because I can always just end up messaging them whenever. But I don't actively use it.
Yeah. I use it like if major life shit and stuff like that. It's like mostly tell my family like, hey, I'm not gonna be living where I was living before. Fuck y'all. Or whatever. Yeah. And also a lot of it was to rub it in my former coworker's face. For me, I'm happy.
You're happy. You're getting puss.
Getting puss, crushing.
Fucking know it. And like I was right about somebody else too.
I really don't like how accurate you are about that because you're like before the end of summer.
This guy I played GTA with, he's kind of like he's worried because all his friends just graduated because they were all seniors, and he's gonna keep on. You know, he's our age or my age. I always forget. I sometimes forget we're not all the same exact age. He's my age, and so he's gonna be in school for a bit longer. Yeah, and he's going to grad school too, so it's gonna be a hot minute. And so he's like, oh, and all these seniors I was friends with are leaving because they just graduated. I'm kind of nervous that like this summer I'm not gonna have anybody, and I'm like, it'll be fine. Somehow something will just kind of fall in your lap because that's just kind of how his life is. And sure enough, he's taking. I don't know how he knows this person exactly. He might work with them, or he might be in a class with them. It doesn't matter. Somehow he knows this person, and kind of just like they were kind of just acquaintances. But then she was talking about how she wants to like create like more of like a friend group type of thing, and you know, with him. And it's like, fucking knew it. You're fine. And it just kind of happened, and I was like, aha, I'm right.
Terry, the love doctor.
Well, it could be love. I don't know, but at the very
what was
least,
your prediction for me?
I don't know because you didn't have a movie that you wanted.
Shrek.
What was it? Shrek?
No, it was John Wick.
Oh, mine was Shrek. That's right. I still gotta kick a dog.
I have to kill a dog. Wait, no, I have to get my dog killed. I don't want my dogs to die.
Yeah, no, so that's why John Wick's not a good one.
Can I just say, I enjoy this podcast.
I do too.
I spent a lot of time, not to take it too far off track, I spent a lot of time listening to some episodes on my flights. Some good shit.
Dude, I'm so worried all the time about everything that I'm involved in, whether it's just being in my presence or things I've worked on. I'm always like, oh, everyone hates it, right? And then it's like, no, I don't. I'm like,
oh no.
Okay, but you're lying though, right? And then it's turned into, I'm like, okay, fine. No, they're not lying. They're just wrong.
They're just wrong.
I will say, continue. Because this is like going a little bit back. So if you have something to say.
Go ahead. I'm gonna fucking derail this motherfucker whenever you're...
I am. My luck also seems to be. I say luck. Luck seems to be going up because I think I'm going on my first date soon.
Fucking Terry was right.
However, I don't really want to go on a date with this guy.
Oh no!
But it's like that's the point of like going on a date, so you can figure it out. So I like, what's the harm in doing it? It's just I don't got any feelings for this guy. I met him on Tinder, so it's like. Yeah, like I have fun talking to him, but it's like...
but that's the thing, like, that's part of dating, though, too, so I've heard, is that, like, it's, like, about just, like, getting to know people,
Stockholm syndroming yourself to another human being.
Well, that's a way to look
We've
at it.
We've been talking for, like, a month at this point. It's
fuck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you might get there and be like...
And they very well could be that, because I went on a date. I still don't count it as my first date. Because we played Borderlands together, and that was it. No. So, and then the funniest thing about that is because my friends were like, oh, because they considered it a date. And they were like, oh, how was your date last night? And I was like, do you ever do you ever talk to somebody for the first time and within the first 5 minutes of conversation you realize you never want to speak to this person ever again? And they were like, that bad, huh? And I was like, oh yeah.
That's
It
unfortunate.
was bad. And it's like, he was cool and all, but like he was cool and all.
No,
but
he wasn't. You're
off the bat making sexist jokes.
Oh.
And I was like, I shouldn't have done this.
Sorry, bud.
I shouldn't have lied. But he was like, so how do you feel about like sexist and racist and blah, blah, blah jokes? And I was like, oh, they're fine, except for the racist ones, because I was honest about that one. I fucking hate racist jokes. Like, I really do hate them. And so he was like, oh, what? But you were fine with like sexist jokes, right? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so he kept doing it. And then he kept saying shit like, are you gonna do anything? Like, while we were playing? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do anything. And after a certain point, it stopped being me joking back and started me just actually, like, starting to get angry. And then he was like, I love your sense of humor. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then there was one point where he was like, because he was a DJ, and that's why I was like, oh, that's really
very
cool. Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, I want to get to know that a little bit more. And I was like, yeah, so you're a DJ. So, like, what's that like? Like, do you enjoy it? And he's like, yeah, I DJ. And I really like DJing because, like, I get to look out into the crowd and see all these girls, like wanting me. And I'm like,
gross.
You're going to say that when you're on a date with somebody? A date? Because he thought it was a date, too.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't think it was a date. And I never voiced this to him, but to everybody else, I don't think of it as a date. I haven't spoken to him since, thank God.
Jesus. Yeah, no, I didn't come up with a prediction for you, but I knew you'd be fine, so I guess I was right, I guess.
I'm really worried that this other guy is going to be the same situation where within the 5 minutes, I'm like, oh,
He walks in, he's just like, make me a sandwich, bitch.
yeah.
That would be really funny. He's
That
like,
would be funny.
can I do, okay, real quick, can I tell funny it'd be if he's like, oh, God, so there's these black people outside, and you're like,
I'm like,
oh, God, Jesus.
I do need to realize, like, I need to internalize, like, if I don't want to be somewhere, and it's like, this is like a first interaction with somebody, I can be like, listen,
Nope.
sorry, dude, this just isn't going to work out. I'm going to bounce. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. See ya. So,
Yeah.
I need to keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's
One
acceptable.
thing that I didn't like about because this guy's really cool and I've been talking to him for a while, but I really only see it in like a friendship way. We were talking about like our interests and he's super into movies and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, tell me about some of the movies you like. And he's like, blah, blah, blah.
I hate movies.
What are the types of movies you like? And I was like, oh, I like this movie. I don't know why I like it. It's just my favorite movie. I think I said Silence of the Lambs. And he was like, because I don't know, I just fucking love the movie. That and 10 Cloverfield Lane. I fucking love those movies and I have no idea why. And he was like, yeah, and he was like, those aren't very good. And I was like,
Well, okay.
yeah,
now
okay.
listen.
I mean, it's your opinion. And he's like, yeah, but like fundamentally, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, really like,
Oh, he's one of those people.
yeah. And I was like,
Yeah, no.
you can be a movie buff without shitting on other people's favorite movies.
I hate people that are like super into shit that just shit on other people that are also into that thing.
I accidentally did that this weekend a little bit.
Oh, what did you do?
Ooh.
So
Somebody shit on Grease, didn't they?
No. So one of my friends wanted to join us for at least a little while, and she brought these little Japanese like fetus sacks. That's how I described them anyway. They were these little
okay.
like rubbery, gooey kind of like ice cream sack things.
Oh, is it a mochi ball?
Maybe that
Maybe,
sounds
sure.
familiar. I don't know, but it like from the second I touched it, I was very disturbed because it looks like a pink donut hole, but then I
Yeah, I
touched
think
it and
it's
it was
mochi.
cold, and I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck is up with this?" She's like, "It has ice cream in the middle." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And
Thanks,
so
I hate it.
and then I took a bite, and like I expected something kind of like similar texture to like a gummy bear, maybe, or maybe like a Starburst or Laffy Taffy, something kind
like
of
poles.
yeah. But it was like rubbery, and it tasted like bubble gum, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then it was melting everywhere, and I ate like 2 bites of it, and the ice cream was fine. It was just kind of ice
Just
cream,
started
but like
crying.
I was like just shitting all over it, and she just wanted to show. this little Japanese ice cream thing, and I was like, oh my god, what is this shit?
Well, that's different. I don't think
That's
you were
different
like,
than being like,
Well, that's-
these two giant movies
you
are
were
fucking
being
horrible.
like, you're fucking stupid because
Yeah,
this
but
is your favorite movie.
But then they also wanted to show me the show they both really like, and I was like,
Oh,
this is
no.
really boring. I was like, this is really bad. I don't like this at all. And, like, so that's why I said accidentally, because I only realized it
Yeah.
the next day then, because my friend was just kind of talking about how this person is and how people are always kind of shitty to her, and then I realized that she did leave kind of suddenly and early, didn't she? I think I might have hurt her feelings a bit. Whoops. So I feel bad about that, but yeah. So anyway,
Ghouls.
just one of these many things that's gonna haunt me for the rest of the time, you know.
Oh yeah, okay, this is a good kind. This is completely off topic. I really want to get like a neon sign behind me now. It's GoBicker live.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
That would be really cool.
It costs like a lot of money, but I want to
yeah.
get it made now.
it'd be way too much.
Oh, absolutely. That's why you need to go to patreon.com/GoBicker and donate today so
For
I
even
can spend money on
$1.
dumb shit and turn this into the GoBicker house.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and we all sleep in your bed.
Yeah, me and Kit got a spoon.
And then me and my would lay it just like this.
I watched that episode or listened to that episode the other day when we were talking about me spooning Kit spooning his wife. I was in tears. I was laughing
was
so
I.
hard, but I was on an airplane. So I was sitting here against the window just like
Yeah, it's great.
it was so fucking funny. The whole episode was gold. We do a really good show here. Like I turned on the BGN finale, just kind of jokingly to send that snap earlier, and I wound up sitting down on my couch and watching the entire episode.
How was it?
It was fucking good.
Really?
I enjoyed
Okay.
it. It held my attention all the way through.
I mean, that's good. Okay.
It's also probably part of the reason why I'm late, because I had to go get some fucking groceries after that.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I just wasted waste. I spent a good hour of my life with two good boys.
One of them being you.
One of them being me.
Who was the other one? So let's see. I have a list. So you left your last shitty job. You moved
Left
to
my
Charlotte.
shitty job.
Started your new job. How's that been going?
Awesome. Only worked 3 hours today.
Damn.
It's so like the opposite of the last place. That's great.
I was like, I left the house at about noon, and I came home maybe 3:30.
That's really funny. Okay.
And a lot of that was just bullshitting with people.
Are you paid salary or hourly?
Salary. But the thing is, I'm
shit.
salary with overtime for what I get over 40. Because the first 2 weeks,
Jesus.
I got, I think I calculated up. I got like 17, 18 hours of overtime. Most of it was travel, going back and forth from St. Louis. And I did the math on that, and it's really fucking nice.
So,
job, dude.
Oh, it is.
I feel like now is a good time then to bring up you owe me $50.
Pay up
And
your
here's my
debts, bitch.
PayPal.
Do you recall why you owe me $50 by any chance?
Because I told you if you fucking tweeted something, I don't even remember what, at Nate, I think, I would pay half the fucking bicker bill.
And I immediately went and did it, and so you owe me $50.
I will PayPal you $50 after this is over.
Okay.
$50.01 for interest.
There you go. Yeah.
Dude, doing all my travel and like getting hyped for the Canada trip next month, I want to meet up with you guys so bad. Listen, I got like all of August free.
Come on down to the bicker house. Because
That's
I don't have
very
any
tempting.
fucking
Now that you
money
have your own
after
I don't
moving.
think my mom would like that a lot at all. Going
Yeah.
to a one-bedroom apartment owned by one of the people in the group.
Listen, I have an air mattress.
Okay. I call the air mattress. Terry, you have to spoon with him. If that wasn't
Oh, I thought
already
that
a
was
given.
established.
I mean, there's also the option of just the floor.
It's true.
Or we could just fuck.
How much do plane tickets to Charlotte cost? Probably a lot.
I mean, plane tickets in general just kind of cost a bit.
How much
Yeah.
would it cost to drive to Charlotte?
Don't drive.
I'm driving to Toronto. That's a 10-hour drive.
Do that either. Just go on a airplane.
It's cheaper.
Airplane on up.
It's cheaper to do the drivey
What happens if
drive.
I just type Maine into Google Maps?
Just
Just do
what?
Portland, Maine. Because that's close enough to where I live.
Portland, Maine is, drumroll please, I'd like to go from my home, please. I know
If
that sounds
it's-
fucking buck wild.
If it's less than the Toronto drive, then I'll do it. I'll drive.
15 hours, 7 minutes.
That would be a 2-day drive. Unless I just fucking powered through it, dude.
Just fucking, and that's including toll roads. I would reimburse you for the toll roads.
Seriously, if I did, like, just drive to your house, would you, like, let me in? If I was just like,
Fuck yeah. If you just showed up at my house one day, I would absolutely be like, yeah, come on up. Let's fucking do a podcast or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's what you'd have to do. Yeah.
all we have to do is find a way for you to get down there, Terry.
I'll just fly.
Oh, okay.
Terry will take the civilized.
Yeah, I'm like.
Well, Myia just pounds a brick of cocaine and drives
just runs
15
down.
hours.
I just run.
Just fucking run.
Dude, that would be crazy. Like, if you ran, and then you got there, and you're just, like, fucking shredded. But you're also your feet are numb.
She is dwarf strength.
Somehow you just get, like, just giant arms and everything, too. I don't even know that would
Well,
work.
at one point, she, like, running on all fours.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like
insane.
a cat.
What is there? What could we do in Charlotte? I feel like Charlotte has a lot to offer.
It's a pretty big fucking city. I mean, I'm still learning the things to do that aren't drinking related because everybody I know in Charlotte is a fucking alcoholic, and I have drank more in the past 3 weeks than I have in my entire life. I have been hungover 4 distinct times since I moved to Charlotte, and I hate it.
That's really funny.
I have been unhappy hour drunk so many times. I hate it.
Well, this is a very tempting idea. Because then, yeah, we
It's
wouldn't
very
have to
fun.
pay for
There's
hotels
actually a
and
lot of shit to do, and there's the mountains, and there's, I mean, just fucking bachelor pad.
Yeah.
I got a bag of grapes in the refrigerator.
Only one.
It's one bag of grapes. It's like 3 weeks old, but y'all are welcome to it.
Can we talk about the fucking price of cherries, by the way?
I mean, I guess.
Somebody got a bag of cherries like this big, right? The size of my head, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not even. It was smaller than that. $10 for
What?
fucking cherries.
I gotta price out cherries. That's more expensive than I thought they were.
That's fucking ridiculous.
What's the point of getting cherries if they're not gonna be like the maraschino fucking sugar bombs,
Dude.
though?
Fucking maraschino cherries are the best.
I could fucking drink an entire jar of those things
I love maraschino
shamelessly.
Everybody else hates them though. Like everybody I
What,
know
people hate
fucking
'em?
hates them. Yeah.
What? Terry, what's your opinion on Mendocino cherries?
Mendocino.
cherries?
Minnesota cherries are great.
What's your opinion on maraschino cherries?
What's my opinion of Marty Maraschino from the hit film Grease? I
It
love
is
her.
cherry.
She's great. It was really horrible when Vince Fontaine, a creepy old man, was hitting on her and then tried to put aspirin in her coke at the dance.
Is this you telling us? Is this your way of avoiding saying that you don't like maraschino?
No, I do.
cherries?
I think
Oh,
I
okay.
already said I did.
Marching on cherries?
That's why I said Minnesota cherries. I was making a joke about the
Oh,
name,
okay.
but I had my actual opinion. I actually like
Gotcha.
them. Yeah.
All right.
Good. I mean, it's been a while since
Maybe we
we've
should
thrown
just get
down
a
shirt
fucking
off.
big ass jar of maraschino cherries, and that's all we
Yeah,
survive
that's
on.
all we're gonna do is we're gonna get a big fucking jar. We're gonna go to Sam's Club, which is just
How
down the road from
long
me.
would you let us live and fester in your house?
As long as you wanted mi casa, su casa,
I mean,
until I
because
kick you down the stairs.
that is a good question though, because if we're not having to like pay for Airbnbs and hotels and all that shit.
Yeah, I'd like to stay a good
I
amount
mean,
of time.
I've got this big fucking. I got a couch. I got an air mattress.
Oh, if you have a couch and an air mattress, that works perfectly then.
Yeah, we're good.
I got a couch and it's got a stuffed squirrel on it.
There you go. It's your snuggle buddy, Terry.
That's my snuggle buddy. And Terry Snuggle. I
like-
mean, I'm Terry Snuggle Buddy.
No, I was saying okay.
You can all be my snuggle buddies. I'll be Kit.
Yeah, because Kit's not
I don't know
coming.
who goes on what side of that. You guys can fight over that.
The squirrel you hug, and then Chris hugs you, and I'm sleeping at the very end of the bed like a
like
dog.
the dog.
I'm sleeping
Oh.
at the.
Shh.
Sorry,
This
Roseanne.
is a no phone zone.
So I almost died in St. Louis. So I'm just gonna hard cut and move on because this podcast is going on and I gotta pee.
I do too.
And I want to tell the most harrowing part of my last several weeks of my life, which is going to St. Louis, the murder capital of the United States of America.
Is that right?
It is. Well, per capita, it's St. Louis. They're very proud of that fact.
They say that they say it at the airport.
Yeah, you get off the plane instead of like you know how you go to Hawaii, they give you a lei. You go to Texas, they give you a cowboy hat. You go to St. Louis, they give you a Glock and say good luck.
Some fucking Hunger Games.
It's a fucking free-for-all
It's a
out there.
PvP enabled zone.
It's actually a really big Fortnite advertisement.
It is. It really is.
That's all St. Louis is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very sketchy, though, if you've never been to St. Louis. Also, I want to say, fuck St. Louis Airport.
Hell
it's just
yeah.
a long-ass
I don't know why,
hallway.
but yes.
It's a long-ass hallway, and the food is only at the beginning of it, and my gate was at the very end, and I didn't know that until I got to my gate, and I was like, well, where's all the fucking food? And I had to turn around and walk like a mile back. And that's not an exaggeration. It is a long fucking airport. And as previously discussed, we don't like things that are long.
We might need to take a
dicks.
break because very suddenly, like I had to pee for a while, but I feel like I'm gonna pee my pants a little bit.
Do you want to take a pee
Okay,
break?
all right.
We might need to take a pee
Take a
break.
break.
This happens every once
Okay,
in a
I'm
while.
fine with that, because I
don't
want to
know
get
what
water
the
that
deal is.
doesn't have ice in it.
But
I'm
I've-
gonna look the shit up of airplane flights.
Okay.
Learn
hold
us.
on. I'm just gonna go.
How much
do
is it
this
to fly
now.
to Charlotte from
Yeah.
Charlotte? But yeah, it was a nice trip. Stayed on the outskirts of San Luis.
Okay.
Play a lot of Red Dead, so
That's what I was thinking. That's you said to me. Yeah.
Every time I see a Saint whatever town, I think Saint Denis, not Saint Denis.
That's how I read it the first few times. I was very confused.
Until
Now
anybody
I'm
in
bumping into the
story for that
microphone.
game-
Jesus Christ.
You've infected him.
Yeah, you broke me.
At least yours doesn't start screaming bloody murder when you tap the fucking cable.
Every time you do it, it goes, ow, stop it.
Stop.
Yeah, it's not
mean?
into it like yours is.
Okay, sorry, we have to go back a second. It would be so funny. Or not funny, but just it'd be really good. In person doing a podcast and be able to go, Myia, talking to your fucking microphone, just having to be able to like put it in front of you.
Oh god, do I have to bring my microphone?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to bring all of your audio recording
I have to bring
equipment,
all
of
of
your
my
whole
computer.
Wait, actually, how many? We'll plan it later. I'm gonna write this down so I don't
Yeah,
forget.
we'll
do have to.
we'll do our planning in the post show.
We will need to plan.
Are we really doing this? Because I really want to. I have to
I
ask permission
thought-
for my parents, though.
Do you
I guess
know?
I guess I don't.
You're 18 now. This is also a shocking moment where it's like, if I actually do start dating someone, I'm gonna have to explain to them why two fucking strangers are gonna be
They're
in my
not.
apartment for
We're
a
not
week.
strangers, you
Please
bitch.
don't
Two
bang
internet
your
people.
girlfriend in the apartment with us in it. I would be very uncomfortable. Have I ever told you guys my favorite thing to do when I'm shit talking
Freeloading.
somebody? Like, when I'm like get a load of this guy, or like so like I frequently, if Chris is like sitting there, right? Imagine Chris and I, and imagine we're all having
discourse.
a conversation in person.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. You're gonna need to open your eyes for this one.
I'm picturing it. Yep, got it.
Okay. So, frequently, I'll be... You know how people are like, get a load of this guy? I love fucking doing, fucking get a load of this guy where he can clearly see it. That's my favorite shit in the world.
Get a load of this cocksucker.
This fucker. And especially if you're blocking the view of the person you're trying to talk to.
Yeah.
So they can't see what you're saying.
So you're in the murder
You
capital of
almost
the world.
died.
San
I went to
Luis.
the murder capital of the universe.
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri,
San
United
Luis.
States of America. And I went to see the Arch. And to go to the Arch, you have to ride the St. Louis Metro, which I've ridden the Atlanta Metro at midnight, and I felt safer. Because going down wasn't so bad, because it was like 5 o'clock in the evening. I was like whatever. It was a little like, ugh. There's some people that got on at one point, and they were, I don't know if they were trying to intimidate us, but it's like 4 or 5 girls got on. They just started looking at us like, "What's up? What's up?"
Square
And I
up,
was
thought.
like, yeah, and I was like, we were all kind of awkwardly sitting there like, I'm just trying to survive. So, we go downtown, we see the Arch, which is literally the only fucking thing to do in St. Louis, Missouri, is to see the Arch.
I think it's the
It's
only
really
thing to do
fucking
in
cool,
Missouri,
actually.
just in general.
It was neat. It was beautiful. It was really cool. I got to go up to the top at sunset and see the fucking thing. Got to take really cool pictures. It was neat. Whatever. That's not the part of the story that people want to hear. The part of the story people want to hear is going back at 9 o'clock at night because there's 4 of us, and we decided to split up in 2 groups because strength is numbers, and numbers are bullshit.
Wait, why would you split up?
Well, the train was very packed.
Oh, okay.
It was
Okay.
so there was like 2 guys took one car, and me and another dude took another car, and we sat down behind this huge fucking dude who has headphones on and is just yelling very aggressive like gangster rap.
Wait, hold on. His headphones are, or he is?
No, he is. He's wearing headphones, listening to the rap, turned up very loud, but he's rapping along with it. And
I
it's
didn't know
not
that
like
part.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, our boy. It's like, I don't know, like a super big gangster rapper. It was like N-words and like fight the power, fucking down with the white man, and I'm sitting there like,
Was this a white man singing along?
No, it was a black dude. It was a
okay.
big
All right.
fucking black dude. I didn't want to bring that up because I didn't want to be racist, but it was
Well,
a
I
big fucking
don't.
black dude.
Hey, listen, if it's a white guy screaming the N-word in Atlanta. St. Louis.
There were 4 white people on this tram. They were all a part of the group I was there with. So we were out of place. 4 fucking pasty white IT guys on a train in the murder capital of the United States.
And everyone knows. Okay, we're not doing this. Never mind. Sorry.
No, we're not gonna keep.
vie.
This conversation can go very downhill very quickly.
It's like my grandpa would be like, and you know how black people are. So
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
But this was like
that's just my grandpa for you.
very, very sketchy. Like there was the dude across from us was like just face tattoos, just kind of one of those dudes I was expecting him the whole time to stand up and go, I did my nickel.
I don't think you can say that word.
I said
No,
Chris.
be careful there.
Stop.
What if we bleep it every single time?
please don't.
Please do.
But I remember at one point, we were sitting there in this fucking ghetto ass train, and the other dude who was sitting there with me in the middle of all this shit going on, and he just leans forward with his phone and goes, "This is my family. These are my kids. This is my wife." I'm like, dude, this ain't gonna help us. If they're gonna rob us, they've already made up their minds. I'm surprised I survived that train ride. It was very ghetto. We had to sit on it for like 20 minutes before we reached, because our stop was like, it was literally one end of the metro together to get back to where we were. It was not a pleasant ride.
So wait, at what point were you gonna get murdered?
Just this whole general ride on the train.
So that seems a little racist.
He says he was gonna get murdered because he was surrounded by black
That's
people.
kind of that's
Okay.
Christopher.
Chris
That's a little
hates
bit what
black
it sounds
people.
like. I gotta
It's
say,
not. It was very sketchy. Okay.
but because they were all black.
That's what
No.
Chris calls predominantly black neighborhoods. Sketchy.
Predominantly black people is sketchy. You're racist because you think the white guy's racist.
Yep, that's how that works.
It was sketchy as fuck. I felt, oh god.
Are you? Is it on? Are you calling me?
Can you please bring that to his house?
A racist.
Terry, I'm begging you, please somehow bring that to his house.
I just want Terry in the background the whole time with the echo thing, just screaming into his microphone.
How dare you?
I really wish you had like a
How
handheld thing that you could do that without reaching forward.
I kind of like him reaching forward. It's funny.
It's a little funnier to just like take a second to go black,
Not really,
Black.
but kinda.
but kinda.
kinda.
I beat you to it, you stupid bitch.
I synced it up with you.
So anyway,
I like that microphone.
I really like that microphone too.
thank you. Yeah, it was worth all the money I spent.
How much money did you spend on it?
Like I said, $60.
Oh, that's not bad.
I kind of want one. I want
I
to be able to
also
stand on the
kinda
other
want
side of. I want to stand back there and have my. I want to get like a therapist chair, or I can lean back and just cry.
And then okay, yeah. So we went to St. Louis. Almost died. So almost died like twice in the trip. then.
Almost died.
Well,
He was surrounded
Listen.
by black people.
Black people make me scared.
and then got back. Gonna crush some puss. And then the last thing I have on my little section for you is that we did a brewcast. So if you want to check that out,
Yeah, we did the.
go look at the BG on
We-
YouTube and watch that.
We shot it in the head. We killed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
I don't know if you've watched it or not, but if you haven't, don't.
It's some quality
If I
shit.
haven't, don't.
Yeah. There's a whole segment where we say things that we just know you won't like.
Oh, I forgot. You know,
Is it racist humor?
No.
it wasn't racist.
No, it wasn't
but
racist.
we said some words that you don't like.
Yeah,
us
we
to
said
say.
all the no
Aw.
words. Yeah.
Can't believe you guys said the N-word live on Brewcast.
Oh, that's all. It was like 10 minutes of just.
It was like you know the penis game.
Were you
It was
guys
like that.
seriously playing the penis game with slurs?
No, well, no, that's not where I was going with that. But you know the game? You're familiar?
There
Yeah.
came a point where Terry was standing outside of that little window, just hollering the N-word.
Well, yeah, that was it. The joke is the penis game, but the N-word.
Do you know those, dude? Do you guys know those like things where you touch it and then your body heat changes the temperature?
No.
What?
Look at my cheek.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, I don't know why it's doing that.
Can we? Sorry. I was a sinner last week. I was in the bad time zone for a week, and I hate it. It is so ass backwards.
I know what you
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I got
don't
back
know
here
what
at
you
God's
mean,
time, and it was wonderful.
No, you went.
Terry gets to come to God's time.
No,
gets to experience God's
I'm in
time.
God's time. Me and
No,
Kid.
we're
This
in
is-
God's time.
This is God's time.
No.
This is God's time right now. It's time that's right, because Central Time is just Eastern Time that's fucked up, because the sun set at the same fucking time. There's no fucking difference with the sun and all that bullshit.
It's just
that liberal bullshit.
That's the point of time zones, is that there's no difference with the sun.
Yeah, but like like the fucking, I got up at 6 in the fucking morning and the sun was up.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That's
What do you
bullshit.
mean? That's how it normally is.
Not here. Sun doesn't really count. Like it was like middle of the day bright outside. It's 6 a.m.
Yeah, it gets that way at 5 in the morning for us.
What the fuck? It's not like that here till like 7:30.
I think it might have to do with because we're more north.
That's probably it, yeah.
So that's why we're so used to it. Yeah, no, it gets bright as shit out nowadays.
But
Uh,
Missouri
5 in
isn't
the
that
morning.
north, though.
Huh?
Missouri
No, it's
isn't
not.
that north.
St.
No,
Louis
I
is
mean,
pretty
that's why
much-
we're used to it, Terry, because...
But why would he be seeing it in Missouri?
Yeah, because Missouri's pretty online with Charlotte, and it was like,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
So if you didn't know, this is
this.
actually really. I just instinctively want to say the words, but it never is. It's good. It's just a podcast that's better than the other ones you listen to. Not really, but kinda. Remember, of course, that we record it live at twitch.tv/GoBicker, free for everyone. Just as far as when, you kind of just have to like pay attention to Twitter and everything. Like I put a tweet up a little bit before we started everything, so that was nice. And then after this is done, we put it up on
Nut!
patreon.com/GoBicker for at even the $1 level. So if you missed the pre and post show, which there really wasn't appreciated, but I bet you it's gonna be a hell of a post show. There always is. There's always a few hours. If you missed that live, then you can go to patreon.com/GoBicker at even the $1 level and get all that shit. Then of course, also you can go to GoBicker.com/shop where you get things like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, and more. And just GoBicker.com in general, because it's a site that's there and we use. And now that Chris, you have more free time, you should like fix our shit.
Masturbation.
Until next time, goodbye.
Not really. But kinda.